The Broncos offense took quite a while to wake up last night, relying on the defense to keep the game against the Raiders close. They were able to get the win, but it certainly wasn't the prettiest. Here to talk about what was going on with the team and what's next with a big game with the Chiefs on tap is our insider Mike Klis with the Klis Mic Drop. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Evan. Yeah, you described it pretty well there. The Broncos have had several ugly wins this year. I've counted 4 ugly wins. This was the ugliest of the uglies. Needed a couple of sticks of lipstick to put on that pig. And I tell you, the offense was, when the offense looks bad, that's what makes it look ugly. The defense played great. The defense wasn't ugly. The defense was beautiful, and it has been for the Broncos for most of this season. But the Broncos this year have had, I would say, their 4 worst performances they've had. They won them all. Against Tennessee in the opener, against the Giants a few weeks ago when they're down 19-0 and 26-8. They rally and win 33-32. The Jets game in London, Jets are terrible. They only beat them 13-11. Had to rally to win that one. And then last night against the Las Vegas Raiders, only 10-7. It was really ugly at the start. The fans, even though this team has now won 7 in a row, even though the Broncos are 8-2, the best record in the NFL, the fans let them have it. They booed the offense. Bo thought they were, I asked Bo about it last night, and he took it as they were booing him. I don't think they were booing him per se. They were booing the offense. But Bo's response to it was, I've been booed before, I'll be booed again. It's unfortunate that the home crowd is letting you have it, but that's part of the deal. They're also booing Jeremy Crawshaw, the Broncos rookie punter, who I don't know what happened there in the first half. Maybe it was a little windy, but this is the NFL. There's no excuses. He seemed to have problems with his drop. They were going off the side of his foot, going directly to his right. I mean, it was not NFL caliber with the punter. It was not NFL caliber with the offense. I know Bo's frustrated. I know Sean Payton is frustrated. In the first quarter, the Raiders had 6 first downs to the Broncos 0. The Raiders had 47 total yards in offense to the Broncos 6. And so it was real ugly early. The Broncos had 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. I don't know. I still think, though, this is a good team. I think they're a little gassed. Remember, they've had no breaks in the schedule, not even after London, where they lost 7 hours basically coming back. They've even with the 7-hour change in time zone, they've had no time off. And I think this team is gassed just a little bit. And so they now have just one game in their next 23 days. Just one game in their next 23 days. They got 10 days off before the Chiefs game next Sunday. Then they're on bye, so they essentially have 2 more weeks off before they go to Washington. So one game in 23 days. They'll get all the rest they need, and they must summon everything that they have for that game against the Chiefs. It's going to be very difficult to beat the Chiefs on Christmas night in Kansas City later in the year. So the Broncos need to win this game that's coming up next Sunday against the Chiefs. The Broncos are 8-2. The Chiefs are 5-4 and on bye. So the Chiefs, if you beat the Chiefs, they're 5-5, and the Broncos will basically have put them away for the AFC West title. And they can then concentrate on the Chargers to finish it off and get a top 4 seed and get a home playoff game. That's the goal. But I tell you, the Denver defense, once again, Vance Joseph, I think the best call he made was 3rd down. The ball was at the 38-yard line. The Raiders need just a couple of yards to get into field goal range for Daniel Carlson. And he dialed up a blitz. Talanoa Hufanga had the biggest of the 6 sacks, I thought. Actually, it was 4th down. Knocked the Raiders back out of field goal range. The Broncos took over at the 47. And from there, Bo Nix made 2 plays. One, he scrambled to his right and he found Pat Bryant over the middle for a 43-yard gain. That set up 1st and goal, and then he hit Troy Franklin for the touchdown, the only touchdown the Broncos scored in that game, and it was set up by the defense, the Hufanga sack on Geno Smith. They had 6 sacks. The Broncos now have 46 sacks in 10 games. Next best is the Detroit Lions with 28 sacks. So they're first by a wide margin. It's unbelievable what the Denver defense is doing, and they're doing it with the pass rush. Nick Benito snaps his 3 sackless skid with 1.5 last night. Zach Allen in on 2 different sacks, gets half sacks. He's been marvelous. Malcolm Roach gets a sack. Uwazurike is included in there. So the Broncos need a little break. They need this 3 days off over the weekend to rest up, come back Monday, and start getting ready for the Chiefs. Have to beat the Chiefs, and then they have a bye week. Going to be tough. Andy Reid hardly ever loses after coming off a bye. The Chiefs are on bye this week. So for Klis's Mic Drop, the Broncos 8-2 in great shape. 7 in a row they've won in great shape, and yet the home crowd is booing them. That's crazy. We'll do this again next week, Evan, on Klis's Mic Drop.
Thanks, Mike. Huge game coming up against the Chiefs. We'll dissect it with you next week.